Okay, so mate, yeah, Clown World.
Go on.
It's not. When did this start? What, 2015, 2016? Clown World sort of started. Really? You think earlier?
For me, it was 2012.
Oh, really?
It was the Brexit Trump year. That was the digging of the ground and the planting of the seeds. That's when it changed, and then the shitstorm began to grow. That was when people really lost their heads, I think. That was the founding moment. That year, I say moment. A year is a moment, really, in the grand scheme of time. But that was for me when shit started to get fucked. Then it went west. And
that's when shit started to get fucked. That's the Kyle Greaves 2022 Rise Above episode 70. That's when shit started to get fucked.
It was true. If you think back to before then, life was relatively enjoyable and simple. And that was when I think the average person realised that they could become enraged and then focus that rage to other people on the internet and get away with it. People
weaponised rage.
Exactly. People could behave in and say whatever they want without the risk of getting punched. And the spite and the vitriol got more and more intense from then on in. And then the ideas got crazier, and then it brought on this Trotsky era that we live in now. There's no enemy to my left, and now it's just things are so fucked. I'm actually sat back and enjoying it now.
Oh yeah, you've got to
mad anymore.
No, you've got to get past the madness. You've got to get past the anguish, the disgust, the people that allowed it to happen. Yeah. That kind of stuff. I think that's very important, and appreciate the absolute absurdity of it.
Yeah, that was tragic crap, the whole thing. Recently, there's so much to cover. I don't know where on earth to start. I have no conversation points.
Okay,
mate,
I've got plenty. Don't worry. Let's go. I've got them all up. So let's start. We didn't really talk about the Jubilee, and I don't want to talk about it for too long. But there is one aspect of it I'd like to mention. Did you know that the golden carriage that they paraded in front of the peasants?
Yep.
You know there was a hologram inside it, right? Basically, the carriage that went through the streets, the queen wasn't in it. So all of the peasants that were waving in an empty carriage that actually had a hologram of the queen from her not inauguration, her crowning ceremony, whatever that's called, from the when's that? The 40s, 30s,
70, from the 50s.
No, 50s. Sorry, yeah. So look at this one. That's the child catcher out of Jimmy Savile, the child catcher
from the Jack the Ripper.
If that didn't gain traction online, that's a fucking rip-off. That needed to get out there.
Yeah, so I thought that was, this year has been particularly clownish, and I thought that was quite good that, they just had everyone basically waving at a hologram.
I took the stance of a royalist this year for a laugh. And
just for shits and giggles.
No, completely. You must have seen it. And just said,
I did notice it, yeah.
Oh, she served the state for all these years, and you're having a go at her, and you're out of order. She's a state crown, an asset to the nation. And I kind of sat back and I watched the two sets of spastics just fucking fight each other. I thought, do you really think they give a fuck about any of this? You and I know it's a public facade.
Yeah, which seems to be crumbling. Okay, so
attention.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to dwell on that because that's a bit of an old story now. It's what
the peasant show.
The peasant show of that caliber. That's like 4 or 5 weeks old. Okay, so let's have something a little bit more up to date. We talking of God, look at this. So we've got some emerging people's pandemics like on the back burner that are ready to go. The first is obviously the monkeypox. An entire British Airways crew is put in isolation over monkeypox fears after one test positive for an infection in Singapore on the way back to the UK.
Am I in the right zone here, or am I fucking tinfoiling it when I say that this monkeypox is a side effect of the goop? Or
well, there is something called autoimmune blistering syndrome.
Thank you. Very similar to AIDS. Yep.
Yeah, which is on the second page of the 8th page of side effects from the Pfizer Christmas miracle. But also it looks exactly the same as shingles, and shingles is also on that list too.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's we don't want to give out any misinformation there, so you got to be careful what you say.
It's comforting to see that you haven't suddenly died. Suddenly,
a mysterious death.
Suddenly and unexpectedly is the new safe and effective, guys. Remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I've got some slides about SADs in a minute, actually. SADs. So there have been some epic memes in the last couple of weeks. Celebrities. It started with I suppose it started with Johnny Depp and that, but the memes weren't that good. But when Kevin Spacey was in court with this triple rape or sexual assault, it's 3 young guys apparently.
That's right.
Start to get these Planet of the Rapes memes. I don't know who made the one on the left, but this on the right is one of our guys. It's Russ Kieran.
Russ Kieran's been pumping these out.
Well, you can see when it's got Jimmy Savile in there like that, it's probably one of our guys, isn't it?
The Planet of the Rapes for me is the winner of that one. That's sinister fucking look on his face.
Oh mate, there's more.
Kyle, don't declare the winner yet. We've barely got started. So return to the Planet of the Rapes. This is a remix. Look, it's the fat kid from Goonies there,
being chased by fucking Matt Dazalam.
The priest class don't have any creativity, Kyle. They're actually completely moribund of the ability to consciously create.
That's a great word. Moribund.
Yeah, moribund is a good word. Nice. Alan Partridge loves that word. Yeah, their creativity is moribund, so they can't innovate and like come up with something unique. That is like a meme, for instance. Or 330 people tuned in. So when we come up with with these slang words that seem to sort of instantly stick as soon as we say them online, everyone gets it, and then before we know it, everyone else is using it as well. Al Gore just can't keep up with that because he can't understand the nuance and the.
It's expanding as well. Like Sheep Farm have got their own little.
Yeah, and we've obviously got the crossover because Britney Spears. That's not ours. That came from Sheep Farm.
And Robo Musk. I think Dom named Elon Musk Robo Musk. Okay. We can't take credit for all.
We can't take credit for all of it. Right.
Okay. It's harrowing, isn't it?
It is harrowing.
There you go. There it is.
Rochdale sex grooming gang member Adil Khan, which is a Khan is like the same as a Cohen. It's a priest class. Judged not to deport him because son needs a role model. His son needs a role model, but he's been grooming kids and he's in a sex gang. Okay. And there was a 322 and a 32 in the numbers of this story. Women removes knickers and sits on a bloke's face for £100 bet in a packed beer garden. Wow. This is headline news in Clan World.
This is why we need fucking Sharia law.
It sounds like your family-friendly pub.
Yeah.
Is it up north?
That's normalising.
Coal mining shithole, isn't it?
Right, I need to get a drink. Andy PG, can you just talk us through what we got on the screen?
I think personally, that sort of story is normalising sluttery.
Yeah, no, it's just normalising the degradation of society.
These are memes. These two here are really cool because the one on the right, the Chan is fucking amazing for like it's a birthplace of fucking memes.
Yeah.
So, I've been screenshotting the fuck out of a lot of it and sending it out to people, and I actually received this one earlier today. The one on the left, Netflix is fucking paused. Fuck. I mean, Did you remember they put a picture up of Adam Sandler and did a
and Zelensky,
Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Adam Sandler as with the Netflix logo. But this is it's pos to fuck. I'm not a great supporter in Netflix, and they took a massive hit on their stocks after what was it? Cuties.
Yeah, the dance film about miners.
Yeah,
but they were like twerking, kids twerking and shit. Yeah.
Anybody that watched that, there's a special place in hell for you. You're a freak, and you should fucking.
Mate, I think they had a lot of people cancel their Netflix because of that. There was a big thing, with that Cuties movie was out in Netflix. So I think I had a lot of people that sort of refused.
250,000 in the UK, I believe, just alone in the UK.
I haven't got a Netflix account. I think it's fucking trash that's on there, apart from the odd thing.
I do, just for research purposes.
The missus does. It has Grey's Anatomy on it, and girls love Grey's, and they love watching people fuck each other in hospitals. So that's her thing.
Normalising sluttery. There we go again.
Yep.
Oh, but the whole.
Is that real on Netflix? Is that really a thing? Life of Stephen Hawking.
You can't. That's the fact that you have to ask. It's serious.
Big up Maddox in the chat, and we see you.
Big shout out to Magix. Thank you for all your help on the graphics for RAcademy and all the new graphics for the show, Madge.
Yes,
Much
mate,
appreciated.
Big up, mate. Good ones.
More Clown World. This is a great one. This is from Rise and Shine. The year on Earth 2040. In an underground base, you've got
Schwab, Sugar Mountain, and Health Chancellor Gates.
Meanwhile, at Rise Above, we're just having a party.
Utopia.
It looks like RAcademy.
In the inner Earth.
Yeah. Love it. And what's the new profile pic here from Sagehead? I'm a sacrificer. Oh,
yeah, nice.
That's brilliant.
That's very good. Really good. Really good. All these profiles pictures I do put up on the Telegram for you to download whenever I get sent them by Sage or any of the team. I do put those on the Telegram for anyone.
Anybody notice saying like brain dead freaks that are all concert attendees normally? I swear they've all ended up with the fucking complete disability to think for themselves. That have, like, Ukraine flagged everything, they've pride flagged everything.
Yeah.
They don't know what an absolute homophobe Zelensky is, and how much he fucking detests gays. And then he pushed to outlaw homosexuality, like when he or something like that.
Well, they're sending money to a country that's arming Nazis.
40 billion, no?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
£40 billion.
Yeah.
That's...
We have got a little Ukraine section coming up.
What have we got here? We've got Castro with baby Castro Trudeau on his
fame with Castro. If you're interested,
go on.
Yeah, go on.
When I was in the Foreign Office, I was posted in Cuba for a short period of time, and I smoked one of Raul Castro's cigars, and it was my first ever cigar, and it was a Cohiba Vehicle 54, and that was back in 1987.
Was it nice?
It was fucking gorgeous and got me onto cigars. And it was a gift from Raul to the English ambassador. And she
Have
said,
you ever had one? Have you ever had one as good?
Yeah, of course. But they were just there in her ambassadorial residence, and she gave me one.
Lovely.
And as like a goodbye gift. And I was like, oh wow, Raul Castro's cigar. That's his brother. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I'll focus on it.
No, mate, we love these stories. Yeah. It's great. It's a break from the clown show. So here's some good ones. This is proper clown world. We've got some headlines here. Male blood donor was turned away from a clinic for refusing to say whether he's pregnant or not.
Oh, fuck me.
Saturday, the 18th of June, 2022. Okay, so I'm guessing
that had to be an NHS clinic.
I'm not sure if that was.
I don't know what's
America.
real or not. No, I don't know if like.
Yeah, I mean now when I get sent these, I do have to check whether they're memes or not, which is quite concerning.
So this is actually a full article, but to me that looks like it could be a fucking meme made up.
The Metro's not really the most reliable source of information, is it? Let's face it.
No, but I mean, if it's definitely been put out by the mainstream media, it kind of doesn't.
It's hard
really
to distinguish.
Well, it doesn't really matter if it's true or not because that's what's being implanted into Norman's head.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the trick. If you want to shortcut this, the trick to distinguishing between what's real and fake online. So something like that. If you look at it and think, there's no fucking way that could possibly ever happen, ever, then it's real. And that
or you could just check it and see if Snopes fact checks it and says it's fake. Then you know it's real.
I mean, the easy way to go about it, just for as a generalisation, is just do the complete opposite of what the media are telling you to do. Or whatever they say, it's the opposite that's true.
I guarantee if you looked on Snopes and typed in, did a male blood donor get turned away from a clinic for refusing to say if he's pregnant, and say, yeah, this is 100% factually true, we fact checked it.
This is science, Lars. Men can get pregnant.
Yeah, look, science is all over it. You can see it. It's dripping with science.
But if he had AIDS, they'd have to take his blood because it was inclusive. Oops.
Oh, dear. They just couldn't tell if he was pregnant or not. Oh no, I've skipped ahead. Right, so also City's attempt to cut the grass, cut Texas man's grass, leads to a standoff, a fire, and his death. Police say a SWAT team officer shot the man after he exited the home with weapons in his hands, according to police in Austin.
Over cutting a man's grass. So this is what the police are doing, guys. Honestly, this is fucking gross.
I don't know if they were telling him he can't cut his grass or ordering him to cut his grass and he didn't do it.
It sounds like the Texas City was cutting his grass.
Oh, right, okay.
And he probably refused to let them do it.
Which led to a standoff, a fire, and he eventually died. SWAT officers were called and they shot him.
They are another breed in Texas, let's face it.
Well, there you go. Order followers for you.
Yeah.
That's unsurprising.
Next, we will move on to some inaugurations. Not inaugurations. What's the word? It was United. What happened to Tony Blair? He was made like
No, he was made a knight of the, not a knight of the Bath, a knight of the Garter, I think, or a knight of the
Garter. That's yeah, that's right.
He basically, he has been awarded the same thing that Jimmy Savile had, the KSCG, the knight of the Garter.
Okay. Did you hear that, guys? He's been awarded that from the royal family because he's done as good a job at fucking people up as Jimmy Savile.
It's even worse, right? A crowd of protesters gathered in Windsor on Monday as Tony Blair was admitted to Britain's oldest order of chivalry, the Order of the Garter. The Queen appointed the former Prime Minister a Knight Companion of the most noble Order of the Garter, the highest possible ranking. The knighthood has sparked a significant backlash from anti-war groups. Now look, monarchs are known as Sovereign of the Garter, and the Prince of Wales is known as the Royal Knight Companion of the Garter. Male members of the Garter are titled Knight Companion, and female members. So wait a minute, it says here the Prince of Wales is known as the Royal Knight.
That's Sausage Fingers, guys.
Yeah, that's right. So wait a minute, if Sausage Fingers is normally having this role, and it's just been awarded to Tony Blair. What does that mean?
But no, there's more than one role. We see because there's the royal representative of that role, and then there's the elected or the granted member, which will be Tony Blair in this case.
Yeah, it says here the Prince of Wales is also the Royal Knight Companion of the Garter.
But Tony Blair's a Knight Companion.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
So he's replaced Jimmy Savile on that award, even though Jimmy Savile never had that knighthood stripped of him, which I believe he should have.
When you researched this,
Odour of the Gutter.
Odour of the Gutter. Perfect. Now, Omar Beats, when you researched this on the show the other week, the order that Jimmy Savile was in, you looked at what position he had.
Yeah, it's the fourth down from the Pope. So you got the Pope, which is the Holy See.
Yeah.
Right, that's his thing. And then you've got a couple below him, and then you've got the KSCG.
Yeah, so when someone said like Jimmy Savile was like a couple of levels under the Pope, that is no like exaggeration. That's no stoop
in their own.
No, you could actually like Wikipedia that.
This is why Prince Philip got onto his knee, and kissed the ring.
Jimmy Savile was actually higher up than him.
To a certain level. I mean, well, probably not, because if you think about who he was married to, he probably had more things. But I think it's a respect thing of their knighthood chivalryness.
So chivalrous. They just got so much chivalry. Jimmy Savile.
It's a medieval thing. This is. It's medieval.
Yeah, I've been doing it for years.
It's one of their rituals. This is a ritual. Yeah. This is what a ritual looks like, guys. Not like a death ritual or anything. So, this isn't like a ritual.
We've got a few remixes here. Originally, this picture was Sir Tony Blair and Hyacinth Bouquet. On the left, it's been remixed into Bram Stoker's Dracula, and on the right, Harold Shipman and Beverly Allett honoured services to the NHS. Who's Beverly Allett? Is she some like nurse that killed people or something?
I think so. Yes. Yeah. I'm not 100%.
I'll have to ask Auntie Kovic. She made that one. We all know who Harold Shipman is.
Harold Shipman's medicine was safe and effective, and the deaths were very, very uncommon.
And everyone that saw Dr. Shipman was very pleased, because if they hadn't, their death could have been much worse, and it could have been long and painful. With Dr. Shipman, their death was quick and painless, so they were really pleased.
Okay, so
It's
Beverly.
also rare and uncommon, so just leave that there.
It wasn't if you were Dr. Shipman's patient. It wasn't.
Or if you were a Dr. Shipman's patient and you had a rare, occurrence and died, they wouldn't list the cause death anyway. So, moving on.
Beverly Allett was a child serial killer. She killed 4 kids. She attempted to kill a further 3, and then she caused grievous bodily harm to a further 6.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, she was...
In total, there's 13 victims. Believe it or not.
Of course.
Had to be. So I'm just checking what the PayPal's saying. Because
She is nicknamed the Angel of Death.
The Angel of Death herself.
That's interesting. She used to give them insulin to kill them.
The new Angel of Death, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Okay. So,
guys, just on the note before we go any further, I can't literally say everyone's name out who's buying tickets, and we can't distinguish who's buying tickets and t-shirts. So
big up for buying the tickets, guys. You will not regret.
Mate, there's loads who've gone over fucking loads.
Oh, no, I've been watching before I got here. I've seen that. There's a lot. I've estimated that we're probably going to sell out by the end of the weekend.
There's someone here who's bought 6.
Wow.
That'll be Alex, was it?
What's the event? Can you tell me a bit more about it?
okay.
So the event is to get together with everybody as part of our family. We're going to present what we present. We've got a whole host of different activities, all focused around our theme, which is, I suppose, apocalyptic survival. We've got camping in the actual woods, Kyle. We've got hammock spaces. We've got an arena area with a sick as fuck stage. We've got. Have you already told him about the man you booked earlier on, the hog roaster?
I haven't announced the hog roast
Well,
yet.
there we go.
But this is what I've announced so far. We've got Terra Slim playing, and he's also going to have a stand with Nutwood Organics, so he's going to be selling all of the organic homegrown produce or whatever he can bring on their farm, at Sheep Drove Farm.
So check out Nutwood Organics online.
Yep. We've also got Dana from Wild Wellbeing Dorset, who's going to be doing morning and evening ceremonies for us to bless the land and set good intentions for the weekend, energising ceremonies and wind down ceremonies in the evening, included in the ticket price. We've got headliners, Comprehend, booked for Friday night. Obviously, I'm going to be performing as well. There's a lot more to announce here, guys. We've got First Principles of Self-Defense, free self-defense workshops with world-class legendary martial artists.
We've managed to actually secure that. I mean, obviously, it was obviously going to be happening, but
Lee Hasdell, can you see the screen?
Yeah, he's the real deal. I've worked with him.
he's the real deal, man.
Yeah, the grandfather of UK MMA, right?
Yeah, very
the man can done what he's done in Japan.
Very strong, good fighter. Yeah, we worked together a few times. He's really cool.
Yeah. So Lee Hasdell, or Master Lee, Inner Guardians, as we refer to him around these parts. Like I said, he's going to be giving free self-defense, first principles of self-defense classes. The event is sponsored by Off Grid Dojo, and you'll get a chance to talk to Master Lee. Maybe you want to book some one-on-ones with him. But these classes will be included in your ticket price, but they will get booked up early, and we can't cater for everyone. Got to stress that. We're also going to have Forage for Knowledge, which I believe Magic's sorted out. This guy's going to be coming along talking about wild foraging and taking people hopefully through the woods to see what they can find berry and mushroom wise and stuff like that.
And there's an extensive set of woods there, man.
But lovely woods.
Amazing. Kyle, what you should do is we did like a virtual tour, me and Lance, last week.
I'm going to play it tonight, by the way.
Oh, super. So you have a little look at that when you get a chance, if you're not online when we're playing it off.
Yeah, sure thing. I think you've got me for another 20 minutes.
Okay. All right. Well, while we've got you, we've got a couple more. We'll get back to Clan World, and I'll talk more about the Ra treat later. Yeah,
that's the event anyway, Kyle. Kyle, it is going to be sick. I mean, that is a fraction of what we've organised, right? And I'm
it's fucking me all over. I love that. I'm definitely going to pull it.
I'm having to hold Lance down to tell everyone what we've got going on, you see, because I want to drip feed it because it's exciting, you know.
See, my nature is I'm the ultimate hype man. You know, I build I build the excitement and paint the picture, but he's like, stop releasing all the secrets, stop.
Right, listen to him. I mean, you could sell sand to tea towels. You don't, you don't need to fucking.
Yeah, these tickets are literally selling themselves. So back to Clown World. While we've got you for another 20 minutes, Kyle. Why are so many food factories suddenly burning down? You know about this?
The same reason that so many churches in Europe are burning down. Perhaps I don't know.
So someone here says the same reason a certain computer guy is buying all the farmland.
Yeah,
would this be the same? Would this be inextricably linked to the same reason that the government are asking and paying farmers to give up their land and retire?
They've been doing that slowly anyway for ages via some of these.
Yeah, I showed something about that the other week. There's also farmers in America, cattle farmers were being paid like $2,000 a pop to destroy their cows.
And farmers were paid to destroy their crops as well. There's loads of it going on.
I mean, I think they've been fucking with the farmers for a long time anyway, because I know that certain farmers, I know two farmers who are friends of my family who have been fucked over by massive chain supermarkets. They get duped into putting these orders in, and they can't fulfill them, and never going to be able to fulfill them. So then they end up having to become an employee of that particular supermarket as opposed to being an owner of a farm.
Yeah, well, it's much worse. It's much worse than all of that, in fact.
For sure.
So, who saw this thing about some reports were 2,000, some were 10,000 cattle died of climate change suddenly altogether.
It's all a mystery, mate.
It's all a mystery. Although all of those cows, I don't see any vultures or flies or anything. It's really
I know what it is. It's coinciditis.
That's because of the chemtrails.
I would like to point out though that I guarantee all of those cows have got RFID chips fitted in. You know what cows do? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder how if they were activated. So fact check. Recent fires at US processing plants do not show a plot to cause food shortages. Obviously not. This is actually back in April, this little fact check here. No pattern. Nothing to see here, peasants. What about this, though? You must be kidding me. A French court orders, not a 5G, a 4G turn-off after 40 cow deaths. What? A French farmer won his battle to temporarily turn off a 4G antenna after he claimed it was damaging his cow herd's health. The administrative court in Clermont-Ferrand ordered a 2-month switch off after Frédéric Salgis, a farmer in Huatleur. Doesn't sound French. It sounds like Chinese when I said it. He said he suspected it was damaging the herd's health. Well, listen, do you think that a court is going to order a telecoms company to turn off a cell tower without any evidence, without enough cause to do it? Got to be careful what we say about it.
Everyone should know that's not good for you.
Well, I mean,
mate, they're putting them on schools. Like every fire station's got a mast on it. Like there's loads. Anywhere that's high, basically, they're sticking these fucking masts. And now the pentojazer ones, they're all over the place.
Yeah, all over the place.
Just like lampposts, and there's some we've had them on the show. They're disguised as trees.
Yep,
all sorts of bollocks.
Gene-edited beef cattle resistant to heat stress, approved by the FDA. That's convenient.
Oh.
That's convenient. What good timing? On the same week,
the 1,000 cows died of climate change.
Well, sorry, this is actually from March.
That was March.
23rd of March.
That project's ready to launch then.
322.
No, mate, it's already on the go.
Say.
In China and other parts of Southeast Asia, I think Singapore specifically, they have already started the. It's like fake meat. They're cultivating meat themselves.
Yeah, lab grown
meat. So, I mean, and it's all from plant substrate, I suppose.
Yeah, I keep seeing articles about the lab meat. They're really pushing it.
What was that, Kyle? Well, I'll tell you where it's going. Funny you should ask that question, mate, because... anyway, I'll just fast forward this. This is a list of all the food factories that have burnt down this year. Here's a graph that shows warehouses destroyed, cattle, poultry, hogs, grain silo fires, food processing plant. This is a graph of the destruction over time.
So you can basically read this. We're reading their handbook here.
Yeah. We've collected this information. Okay. So here's a list of all of them. All these food shortages are happening because they're planned. Blah blah blah. State company, processing plants. So Britain's face empty shelves for the next couple of years as food shortages threaten the UK. You'll know nothing and you'll eat bugs and you'll be happy, peasants. That's what Lord Schwab says. Well, look at this. The world's largest cricket production facility is officially complete. Aspire Foods Group's new plant in London, Ontario, not London, London, is ready to produce 9,000 metric tons of crickets annually.
9,000 metric tons.
We've been talking about bug eating for ages.
Have you got any idea of the mass of that?
A lot. That's a lot of bugs. CRISPR cattle cleared for the first time. So this is gene-edited CRISPR cattle. Lab-grown meats hit the grocery shelves by 2022. We talk about this. This is where it's going, Kyle. This is the 2035 food pyramid. At the very top, the most sought-after nutritious goodies are going to be antidepressants. Just beneath that, in the sort of sub-elite tier, you'll be able to get soy milk if you're lucky. Underneath that will be lab-grown meat. So that's sort of for like the aristocracy. Underneath that, basic merchant class peasants will get bugs, substituted with seed oil, and at the bottom, the absolute underclass of post-COVID peasants will basically survive on a diet of mostly microplastic.
The unspeared.
Where's
that's all the unspeared will be able to buy with their biometric.
I don't know. I just found it today.
Absolutely on the right track yet again, boys.
Yeah, I mean, you heard it here first. This is going to be the new food pyramid for Schwab's New World. I wanted to cover all the aspects of Clan World today because Carl's here, and this just fell on my lap. I don't know who made it. Entomologically, whatever he's called here, the spider.
Entomemology.
Oh, that's good. Entomemology.
Yeah.
Like that. So, yeah. But it's not just food, obviously. Fuel and energy is also getting squeezed in this artificial squeezing. Here it's saying...
My mate, he made a good point to me the other day. He said the fuel's gone up again, like jumped up literally overnight. And he said that he would love to buy an electric car, but they're like 50 grand.
Yeah.
Like, so this is literally A, to try and push people onto electric cars, and B, to push people out of having a car full stop. This is like phase one, isn't it? They like just raise the price of fuel so people can't afford it.
What I don't understand is how, even after all the evidence to say that it uses more fossil fuels to have the electric cars. Yeah, and they're still pushing that agenda. They're just trying to accelerate the downfall of this planet.
There's nothing renewable about what goes into making a battery for an electric car. There's nothing renewable about that at all.
Part of the industry that I work in, obviously, is like in the electrical industry, we're quite astute when it comes to things like EV charging and grid usage. And the UK grid is already running, and this is what baffles the fuck out of me. And this is publicly available information. The grid is already at well over like 94% in the UK. Now, charging a car on an 8 kilowatt. So for those of you that don't know, a kilowatt's 1,000 watts. Your kettle's 2,000 watts. Your car charger, if it's an average run-of-the-mill one, is 8,000 watts. That's the same as a power shower.
Yeah.
Now, you're not using that 8,000 watts ever in your home. What have you got? A few light bulbs, TV, you're probably running at about 500 watts continuously. That's going to like put your usage more than tenfold, and the grid is already at 94%. We don't have the infrastructure for this crap. I don't understand.
I think they're trying to crash it, Kyle. I think that's what they're doing.
I do understand why, but what I really it's just a fucking complete joke. But there you go. And that's just that. Yeah. We know this. We're just circle jerking on it now because we're all fucking aware. But the grid, you're going to get your rise above event, foraging, camping, skills is all going to come in very fucking handy sooner than people think.
This is exactly why I want to do it, mate. This is exactly the plan.
You're doing God's work. You're offering people a chance to live, to learn how to survive without queuing up at Tesco's.
Also, get back in touch with yourself.
I've bought, I think I'm up to about 150 now, tins of meat. I've diversified my tin portfolio. It's great. So I've got long life food, tinned meat, tinned vegetables, and tinned fruit. Right, and I buy about 10 tins a week. So I've got about 150 at the moment. I've got a substantial amount of tobacco, cigarettes, stuff you can trade. Because my partner said, "Oh, you're a fucking loon. That'll never happen." And I was like, yeah, this country had punch-ups for toilet roll. Right? I'm pretty sure that as soon as Boris goes on TV and goes, don't panic buy food, it's going to cause a fucking miniature zombie apocalypse, babe. And I'm not queuing up for fucking weeks for my chicken portion.
I remember
tin food can last for 20 years.
I remember when Mosley first came on the show, he said one of the main things to trade would be like paracetamol.
Yeah.
He said...
Loads of it. First aid kits, lighters, got 150
fresh water.
Yeah, fresh water or a water purifier.
Tell you what, I've worked in countries...
Like everyone should have a military grade food water purifier. Everyone should have one of them in their little kit, yeah.
I've been in countries where supply is an issue. Cuba, communist country, couldn't get potato anywhere. I nearly went out of my head after 2 months of no potato. Like Eastern Congo, I was there in the middle of the Ebola outbreak. Nothing was getting in or out. I lived off like army ration packs that were just available to me. I was fine. But you need to get at least, if you're watching this is just a personal note from me to you, get about a month to 2 months worth of long store food. Meat, fish, vegetables, most importantly vegetables and fruit, tinned fruit. Spend a bit of money now, and if you don't need it, oh well, you've inflation proofed it anyway because it'll cost you double in a year to buy it. So it's a fucking win-win. Go out there and get, and your man's right, paracetamol, ibuprofen, medicine, paracetamol, first aid kits. This shit's going to become increasingly rare. The supply chain clown fuck has already got an erection and it's coming for your asshole.
Yeah.
So get ready for it.
So I'd just like to, the next slide. Oh, we've got a bit of echo there. The next slide is basically for anyone that's blaming the current petrol prices on Brexit. I would produce them this.
Oh, I'm pleased you've got this, Lance. Well done.
Yeah, well, this took 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It took 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Look at the prices of petrol in Spain, France, and Italy. They're all exactly the same. In US dollars, so they're basically the same as here. Maybe they're £1.80, £1.90. You could do this, and people, because someone was going about, they went to Malta or Guernsey or somewhere like that, and petrol was still £1.25, and they're going, look, Brexit, and for one, that's a tax haven, right? That's why when you live there, you have to be stinking rich, or you end up being very poor. Everything there costs dough. Yeah. Like a packet of cigarettes is £20. I don't know how much is 20. It's 20 fags, £20 now.
Yes,
I don't know.
All right, then fags there are 30 quid. You know, because it's a tax haven, you can get absolutely stung on some things, but petrol isn't one of them. Anywhere else in Euroland, it's all the same.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to go to a semi-developed country, then you're going to have the benefits of not paying the rates and the duty and the fees and everything.
Well, like Texas, you mean?
Oh, look at that.
Texas is well cheap.
Got a crossbow. Good man. And salt. And sugar. Well done.
Yeah, salt's a good one. Because you can store food with that. You know, you can dry food out using the salt.
Don't rely on the fridge freezer, guys.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, we'll be soon. That's like South Africa.
Don't rely on electricity. I think that's one of the biggest keys. Is don't rely on what they supply us. Don't be standing there with your hand out. You know, stand there up on your own feet. Yeah. Or squat like that lady's doing.
And when I first saw this slide on the right, I thought, what is this? Is this like squat to get some social credit score points or whatever? But apparently, in Romania, at this bus station, to get your bus ticket, you have to do 20 squats.
What?
And you get a bus ticket for free. But disabled and elderly people obviously get a free ticket. I don't know how I feel about that.
That much of a fucking poor loser that you've got a squat for a bus fare.
But wait a minute. What about if there's a queue of people and the bus turns up? Well, everyone has to. You have to wait for all these people in front of you to do 20 squats. How does that work? I would pay to not have to squat if it had to be quick.
Carl's tipped on something there, right? It is identifying people who are poor to the people who aren't poor. So it's another way of separating slyly.
Oh, what's because if you've got money and you can't be bothered to do the squats, or you're just lazy. I mean, personally, I would just do the squats unless there's a queue. I don't know. Would I feel demeaned? That drop and give me 20 press up. You would do the squats?
No, I'd feel demeaned because you know someone would be watching you. Well, firstly, I wouldn't get on a bus. Right? It'd be disgusting. Secondly. They're full of fucking mouth breathing.
Or are they saying here that this is the only way to get on? You can't pay. No, obviously, disabled elderly get up can get on for free.
Fucking scheme masquerading as it's good for you, it's healthy. Project.
Are they? It's just occurred to me.
This is fuck.
Are they trying to raise the heartbeats of the jabs?
Maybe there
is a man in that little box masturbating.
Do you know what it could be? This could be one of the tasks that humans have to do to get their payment, like that chip we saw, Lance.
So what you're saying is the biometric data that the camera would be measuring from your squat, they'd actually be farming some cryptocurrency off that, be going to Bill Gates.
Or something, yeah, exactly. Something like that. There'll be something, I reckon this is maybe a test bed for how obedient people can be for those tasks that they're going to be set.
You'd definitely be training Al Gore in some way to be better at recognising human movements or to know more about the posture. They're not just, let's face it, that algorithm doesn't want you to be healthy.
No.
Maybe they're trying to raise. Maybe they're trying to raise the heartbeit of the people who've been to the Britney Spears concert.
If it detects if you've got the full Britney Spears upgrade and you've got the Ike protein coursing through your veins, it knows exactly how many squats are needed just to keep you on the edge all the time. Oh my god!
That logo from Earth Emissions, surprising. It's a bit too WHO for my liking. I don't trust that.
It definitely looks like some sort of a subsidiary NGO.
Some soy-steam sat behind that going, they'll do that now. This is, no, you're right, not for me.
To every normie that called you a tinfoil hatter for suggesting that they're going to put chips in us, I'll present the next slides. Nokia CEO says humans will be implanted with 6G chips, and he said it's by 2030. We're going to skip 5G. We won't get this upgrade, but apparently we'll get 6G.
Then they can just turn off your chip.
Yeah, if you don't like it, just turn off the chip. Yeah. So, you heard it here first. Here it is.
Decades when the financial system will collapse and currency will end up being reset globally. So this is all falling into the wider agenda.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same thing. It's all being schwabbed together to this final plan. The final solution is when the whole of humanity will be schwabbed into one thing.
I'm loving the comments popping up. It's fucking just great.
They are brilliant. What was Alexander Snell saying? Have the Britneys already got the 6G chips? That's a very good point. Have they already had the 6G chips installed?
Biologically, yes. So
I would say so. Google CEO says America will be governed by robots. Eric Schmidt sounds like a Nazi, discusses his new book on artificial intelligence and reveals the future leftist utopia is a world where we're all slaves governed by machines. It looks like Eric Schmidt have a desire to govern through artificial intelligence. Not to be surprising, they can use machines to exert control over everyone with plausible deniability. I would say they're already doing that. That's already happened. Artificial
the AI courts in China already.
AI's already probably writing half of our news stories. Yeah, this has already happened. This is old news. God.
Oh, the irony of this.
The irony. Britney Spears went to her own concert and then ended up, sadly for the baby, having a miscarriage. No. Yeah. We've all seen the banned articles of the data showing a huge spike in stillborns and miscarriages
since she went on tour.
Post Britney Spears world tour, the greatest world tour of all time.
Are they readily available yet, or have they been shit all over and hidden?
What the
documents from old Pfizer? I think they're available, aren't they?
They're basically. I don't know if we're to believe what we.
Interested in this, I really don't understand. I don't get it. You'd think that these
people won't read them.
Stillborns would be fucking.
They won't read them.
You think that would be enough, wouldn't you? Dead babies. I mean, what more did it goes to prove? You know, I've got a couple of staunch Coviots in my family who I obviously don't speak to anymore. And I said to my aunt, you know, and they're sort of like they've been sort of coercing my auntie. She's about to go to the 4th concert, and I said to my auntie, she's 82 years old. She's still healthy, and I said, you know, and I keep showing her all these facts and figures. She goes, well, I've had 3, 4 would be all right. I said, well, you know, Russian roulette is safe and effective 5 out of 6 times. I said, how many more do you want? And you know,
yeah, but
this is what I said to her.
A yearly thing. Do you know what I mean?
This is what I said to her. I said, her son and daughter are the ones that are coercing her. And I said, I'm sorry to say that, I won't say their names, your son and daughter are so far gone, as are many people, that even if one of their children, their 20-something 2 young daughters, if one of those sadly killed over or was rendered infertile, I guarantee that they still wouldn't put 2 and 2 together, and they would still carry on saying, no, it's safe and effective, it's what we've got to do. As many people would. I'm not singling them out.
They're on the other timeline.
Yeah, they're on the other. They are on the other timeline. They're on the opposing underverse reality, where we're nutters who are definitely going to die at some point, and you know they're doing what they're supposed to do. And I think that goes for millions of people in this country. Even if a member of their family suddenly, way before their time, kills over and dies of mystery, sudden coinciditis, it's still not enough.
No, they won't look into it, mate. Honestly, they won't. They're lazy and in denial, and even if they can see what's going on, they won't admit that they were wrong.
No.
To themselves, like, you know, it's not regardless of anyone else.
20 years has been a massive fucking social engineering exercise, and the term programming and the Matrix and everything that Lance and you know the Rise Above team harp on about has a lot of depth and truth to it. Yeah. How does the memes become so serious?
We thought the memes were jokes until they became so serious. I'm conscious you've got to go in a minute. Last subject, or maybe one more, 2 more.
Yeah, go.
Who could have possibly predicted this? Think very carefully before going on strike. This is the Greta reset. It's not the 1970s. The picket line is exactly where they want you. So obviously here I'm talking to the rail workers because this, the rail workers are striking again. It's the 1970s all over again, up the unions, whatever. But it's not the 1970s because look, every railway ticket office in England is going to close under new plans. Guess why? Because it's going to be done by a machine. Yeah. People don't realise that there have been driverless trains on certain lines in the UK since the late 1980s.
It's the late 1980s.
DLR in London, the most effective and safe and on time railway system in the whole of Europe for many years in a row. Driverless. I know because it had to stop in my university. So don't think that driverless trains and buses, they're not just ready to go. That's been ready to go for decades.
And active.
Yeah. So basically what I'm saying here is to all of you public sector, whether it's transport, whatever it is, if it can be automised, think very carefully before you go and put your job on the line by standing behind a picket line, because that's exactly where they want you to be. When you realise what's happening, you'll probably want your old job back and you'd accept a pay cut, because the other option will be UBI, Universal Basic Income. Yeah.
Look at the, unexpected item in the bagging area. Oh, I know you get a lot. Like one girl can manage 10 checkouts. Why the fuck do they need 10 people working 10 checkouts?
Yeah, I made one of those little rant videos on my phone in Asda when the first day when they installed all the new automated tills. First they had 6 and then they had 25 after one day. And there was one woman who was training the other people, and I made a video and I said, yeah, see this woman here, she's training these people that are about to get sacked. She's training them how to use the machine that's going to replace them. Yep. And 2 weeks later, she came up to me and had a right go at me and said, I can't believe you made the video. I actually just told her to fuck off, walked away. But then I went back a couple of months later and all of the people had been sacked apart from her. And it was her and one other person in front of 20 machines. I walked past and I said, oh, are you still here? And she looked at me and she goes, I said, what are you looking at? I said, I was right, wasn't I? I said, you're just still here. I said, look at where all your colleagues have gone. They're not here anymore, are they? I said, I was right, wasn't I? And she just looked at me, ashen-faced. Sorry, it's not my fault, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't call security, mate.
She goes, don't shop here anymore. It's like, sorry, you're a checkout lady. You can't tell me not to shop here anymore just because I told the truth.
She's
Anyway.
definitely very likely to die of an uncommon event.
Oh yeah, by the way, she's still wearing a mask. This woman. So it goes over her nose. It comes right under. She puts it underneath her glasses.
Does anyone else in the group chat, before I fuck off and do the last few memes with Mark Lance, does anybody else lean out of their window when they see people with a mask and shout something? I do it all the time in London. If I see someone, I go, "Oh, mask!" as I drive past them, or "mask wanker," or just tell me it's not just me. Please carry on.
Anyone else in the live chat that you shout at mask wankers?
If you don't, I encourage you to do it. Actively engage in your local community.
Yeah, you've got to play. You've got to be a pillar of the community and set the example for other people. Absolutely. So, all right, mate. Yeah. Well, it's 11 o'clock, so we've had a good 2 hours out of you, mate. Thank you very much once again for coming on, Kyle. It's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been a laugh going over the memes. Thank you very much.
Oh, I prepared this one especially with you in mind. I know how much you like taking the piss out of some of these
nice
subjects.
to chat about clown world from time to time.
Yeah. You know, you don't have to. We don't have to go so esoteric and deep every week. It's sometimes nice to have a
very
break.
important to add the humour.
Absolutely.
Look,
And that's why I mix it up.
I would always yell something at the testing station workers. Yes, been doing it since the get-go. Oh, fucking hell, this fills me with joy. A profound sense of joy. But yeah, just remember, folks, before I bugger off, if it's absolutely absurd, completely ridiculous, beyond measurably retarded, it's real.
I think that's the Kyle Greaves measuring stick. Yeah,
that's me signing off.
That's brilliant.
Kyle, did I hear that you're coming to RAcademy possibly?
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Awesome. So yeah, we can confirm that Kyle Greaves will be there cracking jokes at RAcademy. Kyle, it's been a pleasure, mate.
I haven't had much of a time to do it tonight. I've got no material. I haven't written anything good in a while, but I'll get onto it. So I'll see you boys soon. Lots of love.
All right,
great chance.
Thank you very much, mate. Rise above.
Thanks, guys. Much enjoyed. See you again.
See you soon.
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above, abstract.
Always good to have a bit of Kyle Greaves. Mix it up a little bit.
He's a funny man, isn't he?
He's a funny man. So yeah, we're 2 hours in. I said we're doing a 4-hour show tonight, not a long one. Omar Beats, you ready to spin some tunes?
Yeah, man.
All right, run the track.
A new age has begun. An age of freedom.
Hi, I'm Double LMC. You probably know me from such productions as Rise Above Live on a Friday night, or the infamous Serco speech. But I'm not here today to warn you about the Soviet Union. I'm here to tell you about an exciting new product from Roots Brands Wellness. It's called Zero In, fully approved by Inspector Veg and the FDA. In each of these organic capsules, it's packed with essential vitamins, minerals and nutraceutical berry extracts plucked from the organic peasant sphere and mixed together in an expert fashion to stimulate and invigorate your meat suit brain. These make your meat suit perform at absolute optimum level. Rise Above simply wouldn't be able to perform at the levels they do without these amazing capsules. 100% made from berries, vegetables, vitamins and minerals, these capsules stimulate the serotonin and dopamine production. They make you feel like a sexual tyrannosaurus 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, 33 days a month. When I take these tablets in the morning, I feel like I can achieve at least 33% more. If you want to support Rise Above, you can purchase Zero In or other fantastic products from Roots Brands Wellness. Please use the link to support us. Packed with 33 essential ingredients plucked from the organic peasant sphere.
to nutraceutically boost your peasant meat suit. Get these capsules now. Rise above.
Right, so speaking of space, I think we should probably address the massive gold.
Are we getting a curry in?
Gold tandoori tinfoil monstrosity, right? That's been all over the news like the last day or two. Okay, we had to go there.
Buttermoon tandoori.
So let's start with what actually happened last week, which is lesser known. Last week, or at least at the start of this week, maybe. There was a failed Russian lunar landing attempt. Did you know this?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
I mean, I'd sort of heard it, but it hadn't been plastered all over the place. Not as much as the successful one that India allegedly did. A failed lunar mission dents Russian pride and reflects deeper problems with Moscow's space industry. Such a great opportunity to have a pop at Russians, isn't it? Oh, failed rocket.
Fuck off.
You know, the space industry going down the pan. Same as all the Putin's planned. Do you know what I mean?
This is just another thing. Like they put out. This is just another like fishing hook for the peasantry, just to see if they bite.
Yeah,
This is all this is.
I mean, at least Russia's got better CGI than India does, by the looks of
Yeah,
this.
definitely. Any opportunity they've got to like embarrass Putin or whatever, they're going to blatantly.
Yeah, embarrassing Putin by showing
Mate,
that.
the amount of Ukraine flags in Prague was quite phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah, mate, it was fucking rife.
Wow. Well, so this is what the Russian attempt. Okay. This meme is by Freddie Stevenson. Big shout out to Freddie. The moon landing. This is obviously like the Indian version now. India sponsors Fortnite. Low graphics setting. So believe it or not, the picture here in the background of this meme is the picture presented to the world of the Indian moon landing and the video as well. Does anyone want to see a video?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's have a look.
जी हाँ, आप अपने स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल
People are applauding. Let us all wait to hear from the Secretary Department of Space and Chairman ISRO, Shri S. Somnath.
लैंडर मॉड्यूल पूरी तरह से सेफली और सॉफ्टली चंद्रमा की सतह पे लैंड हो चुका है। ये हम लोगों के लिए बहुत ही गर्व की बात है। हिंदी में एक
I think we get the
Everything about that is completely laughable. It really is.
I mean,
honestly.
Right, so we don't need to discuss whether that is real footage or not because we know it's not. Now, the next question is, are they pretending that that is actual footage of what happened? Or is everyone there clapping knows that that is a computer simulation of what they believe is happening? Because obviously the globalists, as Bro Sanchez calls them, big up Bro Sanchez, the globalists would straight away say, no, you guys are stupid. No one believes that's actually footage. They're saying that's actually footage. Everyone knows it's a computer generated graphic to simulate what's going on. But my question is that the official line from India? Is that the official line from the BBC that have shown that?
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, but but what I'm saying is they haven't made that claim. No one on the mainstream channels that's shown that footage. And I don't know, was there more of it? Oh yeah, here's some more. Let me get this one. This is of the rover coming out of that thing that just landed on the moon. Now this is supposed to be real footage, allegedly. Let's have a look. It's on your chest.
So,
Is that a Bollywood production?
just a quick question. Well, a quick couple of questions. Miss Becky was saying about the previous footage. If that is apparently real, obviously we're not saying it is, but if that is apparently real, who took the footage? How was the camera out on the deck before to film it coming down? And I'm saying that footage we just watched there of the alleged actual 100% confirmed definite footage of it. Wouldn't it have been better quality if matey just whipped out his iPhone and quickly fucking filmed that?
Do you want to see a picture of what we just saw?
Isn't a NASA camera at this stage in 2023?
Would a mobile phone work out there?
Why not? You don't have to have any signal, do you, to take a video?
Can a phone work up there?
Well, you don't need the phone to work. You just, I don't know. I'm not an astronaut, but you think you could keep it charged up?
I think what Andy PG is trying to say is that if we can take a good picture on a mobile phone, why haven't NASA got a good footage of that? So that thing that we just watched in the video, let me just get rid of the video to save on CPU power here, is this. This is what it is. Wow. That's what the landing...
I'm saying they painted all this shit green round here and filmed it from that.
I think they made a poor computer model of that on like an Atari or a Commodore 64 or something. So that's the lunar module coming out there. This is what they reckon. I mean, I'm not going. People are like obviously taking the piss out of this quite rightly. But I mean, my first observation is, like, have they actually? Are they really actually just taking the piss? Up the top there, that just looks like toilet rolls covered in golden tin foil. Has technology not come along since the 60s when they just made it out of like duct tape and cardboard?
I don't know, mate. Should we have a look at some more pictures? Very odd. Yeah, fuck yeah.
So yeah, I think these are diagrams.
Yeah, that's a computer image. Yeah.
So why can't we see photos? Surely they would have documented this and take loads of photos. Here we go.
Well, look, people are taking photos of what is clearly like sub PlayStation 1 graphics. That's like an NES.
Space Invaders.
It's like original Nintendo graphics, that is.
Keep it real.
Somebody knocked that up on their lunch break.
But you know, the fact that people are there with their lanyards on that work for the Indian Space company or whatever it is, organisation, right? They're there taking videos of what is clearly a shit representation of something else on their phones.
They're in some kind of... I'm just looking at the top left-hand corner of the image. They're in some kind of warehouse with, like, you know, drops coming down.
Well, yeah, Beats. This is sort of what I'm getting at, right? If this is the Indian version of NASA, I would actually say that these people, at least within their role, if their role is genuine, that they probably do believe this is what they're seeing is real.
So the American government get Hollywood to make their little installations. Well, the Indian government have only got Bollywood. If you look at the two comparisons.
Oh, mate, I've seen a great meme. It was the lyrics from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Cool.
And it said, I can't remember the actual lyrics of it. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Bollywood basement.
I think I may even have that meme. I might have that meme.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Here's some more actual photos. This is before it went to the moon. Anyone notice anything about this photo? Anything jump out at you?
It's a drawing on the wall, isn't it?
About what? The right or the left?
Well,
or all of it?
Let's say on the right. Let's say on the right over here.
2D.
Well, before, yeah, I can see what you mean with these two casings.
It doesn't look real, mate.
What's this?
Yeah, checkerboard.
Why has it got Masonic checkerboard on it?
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Why is it? Is it sponsored by the police? Is the police going to the moon? Okay. So these are the official photos. You can see how big it is because you've got these guys down here in their purple lab coats, magenta lab coats.
Nice.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the fucking racing flag for the end of the last lap? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's usually
And the
that as
checkered
well.
flag, yeah, but that's
think about it, yeah, it's
that's
the
mind
engine,
control in itself.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Right. Okay. So we've got
Fourth country.
Oh, let me get another video up because there is another video, I'm sure.
The Virgin.
And your Space Invaders.
Did I not get the other Space Invaders video?
I wonder what.
No, there it is. There it is. It was just a close up of the actual.
One.
Right.
The altitude is being brought down from 800 meters and we are nearing and approaching the lunar surface.
जी, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर का हाइट लगातार कम होता जा रहा है। इस समय हम लैंडिंग साइट के जस्ट ऊपर हैं और इस समय इसकी अब हमें देख सकते हैं कि हम लगभग 150 मीटर की ऊंचाई पे हैं चंद्रमा के सतह।
So, is this just an animation that they've made that corresponds to the altitude of it when it's coming into land, just so they can see like how close it is to the surface? So I'm just off the top of my head. Is that what this is? And that's why they're clapping, because they're aware that it's not actually real what they're physically looking at, but they're aware of that it's actually land.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. I'm saying yes, it is. Of course, it is. Of course, this is what I'm saying, and the whole point of why I've been leading you guys here, right? This is exactly what happens at NASA too. They watch something on the screen which is a representation, because like you say, when that thing lands, what's there to be filming it?
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
But however, no, on that matter, fuck me, we got buildings with CCTV on. Can't NASA have a camera like that you can see the whole thing, like see how when it's actually, so we would be able to see the lunar surface.
But the place I totally agree with you that it should be like they should have drones flying around filming it exactly because that technology already exists, right? But what I'm saying is, if let's say that those people that work in there are not actors and they really think that their job is real, and let's say that that's the same as most people that are working there with their headphones on at NASA in the control rooms going, yay,
wanking when it.
Well, imagine like the only data they're getting is from the screen in front of them, which is probably a load of telemetric data, which is then put into an animation like that to show them what's going on. That's the only information that they've got.
But why not just put a fucking camera on the outside of the fucking thing?
Because if you can fool people by just doing that, that's fucking powerful. By literally just saying, sit in front of this computer, this is mission control, you're in charge of the mission. We've given you the whole parameters of what space travel is. Johnny Fogg's calling in. Ree. Welcome. Yo, Johnny, welcome to Rise Above. It's definitely.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there he is. Welcome, Meat Master. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. Great show, guys. Lots of interesting subjects. Love it. Good callers.
Oh, mate, we're not finished yet.
It's been varied tonight.
Yeah. Right, I just want to call in while you're on this moon thing, because you just hit it on the head, right? So I think that video that they're all clapping to is quite clearly meant to be an illustration, of what it's meant to be doing as it's landing and all that bollocks. But so they haven't got a camera of it landing, but as soon as it's landed, they've got a camera which looks like it's been filmed on a fucking potato of the little rover leaving the spaceship.
Correct.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, and that camera that's filming the most important thing they've ever done, it looks like it's recording about 3 frames per second.
I like it. I think it's brilliant.
You know, and for anyone who doesn't know about frames per second, regular video or film is like 24. You want to get to high quality, 60 frames per second. But that was like, it was like so jittery. If they could get a phone call from the moon in the 60s, what are you saying? You can't get me some 720p footage from the moon right now? Come on. Well, it hasn't come.
Jokes, isn't it?
Who's that?
So just keep chatting to Johnny for a sec.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that they stole the plans of how to land on the moon from NASA? Is that how they've managed to do it? Maybe
they lost all of that data that NASA lost in those unexplained events, right? And they finally got their hands on it, and they just paid some cheap asses in India to like summarize it, and then they've come up with that. Just put some gold tin foil on it instead.
So as we've got Johnny here, I've just quickly looked through the rest of the Schwab show, and we haven't got the meme that I commissioned, which was my good Ramish wife Becky's idea. So this is what Johnny came up with, and he was mighty hasty with it as well. So hats off to you, Johnny Fogg, mate. So what
I've done that with my toast and tea in the morning, mate.
This is brilliant. So we've got an Indian call centre here on the moon, just taking your call. This dude here in the forefront, he's obviously a fan of the show. In his little cubicle, he's got a RA sticker.
Dig up.
He's there enjoying his work life. So thank you for that, Johnny, mate. Excellent work, sir.
No problems, man. No problems. I wanted to get the. Do you remember the program Phone Jacker?
Yes, mate. Yes, I do.
You get free ring ding. I wanted to get that guy, but I couldn't get a good enough shot with him in a call centre.
Yeah. I know.
That was actually really funny. When
that was funny. Phone Jacker was good, mate.
Yeah,
that was good.
That was in the same era as John Dolly with Trigger Happy TV.
That's the one, mate. That's the one.
Yeah, he just wasn't fun after that.
I'm going to let you guys crack on because you've got plenty to get through, I'm sure.
Awesome, man. Nice to talk to you, Johnny,
great to hear from you, mate, and keep up the memes.
Good show, guys.
Awesome, man. Speak to you soon, brother.
Take care, mate.
Ta-da. Bye.
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above, abstract.
Oh my goodness. Did anyone else notice that apart from the checkerboard?
I didn't notice. No,
Yeah.
I haven't looked at this much. I just saw what I saw.
Noticed this the other day as soon as I saw it, and then someone already made the meme.
That's really good. That's really good.
So, knowing what we know about how everything's got to be anti-Russia at the moment, isn't it just so coincidental that the Russians, they had like a failed one last week, and their CGI was definitely much better. And then, in utter mockery, the next people for the very next week to hit the moon, they do it, and that's what they've presented to everyone. That was their CGI.
So what they're basically saying there is India, a far less developed country than Russia's got better tech. Well, that's what they're saying in the peasant sphere. That's just another blow to Russia.
Yeah. I mean, if they're
shout out to Putin.
No, if this has already been being orchestrated from a central force or some sort of like agent of AIX or whatever, however you want to think about this, then there's got to be some.
This is a holographic construct.
Exactly. There's got to be some overall plan to play these nations off against each other. So the space race is something that sort of like went away for years, and now suddenly it's back on the table again.
Yeah.
It's so yeah, I think watch this space. That's good, wasn't it?
Watch the space, Michael.
But wait, there's more. There is more. Hold on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, someone here pointing out the checkerboard on the landing craft.
Got the two pillars there with the side.
Yeah, very Freemasonic just by its very nature. So the claim is that the Indians landed on the dark side of the moon.
Yeah, the Schwab side of the moon.
Right, so on the dark side of the moon, that means you don't see the sun, right?
No, mate, no. It's dark.
So what's that in the sky?
It's the sun, mate.
Are you sure it's not the moon?
Oh, it might be the moon, yeah.
If someone told them you can't see the moon from the moon, well, it can't be the sun, can it? Because it's the dark side of the moon.
Interesting. Or
that's an official Indian
question.
Image.
If you're up on the moon, allegedly, on the surface of the lunar satellite, is that like the closest sun? Not the sun, but is that like the closest star to the moon? Is that what we're seeing here or not? You can't see any other stars around it.
No, a star wouldn't be that big.
So there you go.
But it can't.
It's either a star, the sun, or the moon. What is it? Come on, somebody email India.
Is that just a reflection of whatever's behind it there?
Reflecting on what? The firmament?
Well, whatever that is, there's like a Christmas
tree.
Let's
throw that in the mix, shall we?
Look, what's that Christmas tree shaped thing behind the circle? See the white?
Christmas
Yeah,
tree.
yeah. It's like it's got two, like, or a very childlike angels drawing. It's like two triangles on top of each other behind the circle. Look out wider. See it there?
What, that?
Yeah, no. Yeah, and below there's a pyramid. See that one there? So isn't it just reflecting off the top of that?
No, it's not a pyramid.
No, I don't think so.
What is it then?
No, it's just like it's just a light. It's just a light glare.
I don't know what it is.
What, even at the bottom?
Well, it's a bit tall for a pyramid.
Yeah, no, I realise that. I'm saying
It's either a luminary itself or it's a reflection. But what it's reflecting off, I can't.
Can we have a vote in the live chat, please? Is that the sun?
Is this
the moon?
image? Is this image like an official?
Yes, this is
Bollywood
the
image.
official Bollywood space program.
Nice.
Obviously, Al Gore's done that.
Oh, but someone's saying it's a stage light.
Oh, yeah, quite possibly.
Give Up Records says it's a stage light. I like that. Yeah. These are official Indian clown space images.
I tell you what, looking at that, if you think about light and its trajectory, then the lights are from above, aren't they? If those two triangles behind that circle is lights, you're saying, then it's coming from above, isn't it? Not.
Also, as well, if you see, so that light, what we're seeing in the image in the top right, that is obviously behind the, let's call it the rover. I don't know what the fuck the name of it is. So what's casting the shadow on the flag? This side of it.
It's a crease. Oh, yeah, but
what's also causing the flag
and there's the shadow on the side, look, but onto the front here.
The moon's not supposed to have any atmosphere.
No, and if that's the sun, shouldn't that be behind it? What's casting the light there? That side.
the shading's wrong on that as well, because the sun, if you look at the front tyres, would be in front of the front tyres there, not behind it. Because you can see the front tyres, can't you? They're not black.
And look here to the left.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Look here to the left. Get the mouse slants over here. Look, the shadow's here pointing this way.
I think maybe they got Al Gore to make this image, and they can we have a cool shot of the moon, and Al Gore just like, I can do even better. I'll give you fucking a space probe on the moon, and I'll put the moon in the background as well.
Nice.
That's the kind of thing Al Gore does.
Okay.
He always tries to over deliver.
Retarded.
Yeah. It's just that sometimes it is a bit retarded. The one on the left, I think some people got upset by this meme.
Oh, fuck off.
The fact is, India does have a problem with toilets. They have like over 100 people per working toilet.
Yeah, mate.
You know,
they're in the shit.
People say, "Oh, you shouldn't take the mick out of people in developing countries that don't have proper sanitation."
That's awesome.
But if you've got enough money to send to make a CGI rocket to send to the moon and spend $75 million,
oh, politics.
Can people really whine about if someone makes a meme about like people shitting on the floor in India?
Remember, I've told you guys many times.
Space Invaders, Atari. I don't know who made this one. It does look exactly like Space Invaders, doesn't it? Literally.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So, just to finish this off, $75 million is what it cost for the Indian space mission to go to the moon. The Martian, 108 million. Interstellar, 165 million. Avatar, 237 million.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see where they scrimped on the budget. It was mainly on the AI they scrimped, I think.
Well, to be fair, they probably did buy the extra thick tinfoil as well, and some good gold spray paint. Is that actually gold on there? Do you think? Is that?
I think it's supposed.
Is that something that's supposed? Is actually gold?
Well, if it is gold, you can see where the other part of the 75 million went.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because it's going to the
CGI.
moon. Is that closer to the sun than we are on Earth? Is that to reflect light? Do you think? Is that what has to be actual gold?
And I think what it is
because gold's a superconductor, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of metals don't handle the passing the firmament too well.
The firmament, right? Yeah.
Maybe it was to shield them from the Nan Allen belt you're on.
Yeah.
So that's not yours.
No, what, this meme?
Well, no, that.
Oh, the Nan Allen belt.
Yeah.
Allen's Nan's belt.
No, I can't take credit for it. I didn't come up with it.
You're errant, which means you're a problem.
Jen, welcome to Rise Above.
Hello.
Get proper close to the mic, almost so it's touching your lips.
Okay, I won't go too close, but that's all right there.
So, give us a little quick overview about what you're going to be talking about tonight.
What I'm going to talk about tonight, this is a presentation that I have done a few times now about the £20 note. But it's not just about the £20 note, it's about symbology on the £20 note.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about.
Okay, so it's on the money.
Yeah, but I'll first introduce why I was interested in this topic. So I studied marketing at university. I kind of had a bit of an awakening in my third year and then refused to want to go back to do it. But I did finish a degree because all the subliminals and the symbology. And that's why I've got an interest and a background in this kind of thing. I remember speaking to my university lecturer about the satanic worship and ritual abuse stuff back at uni and the Masonic stuff and all that. And so I find symbols really interesting. And from there, I've gone into like study kind of occultism and magic and other things. And so tonight we're just going to talk about the £20 note and why it was the symbols that are on this £20 note and why they are relevant to what is going on now currently in the Soviet. I need some
code words. Yeah, the Soviet Union. You can say pentojizzle or wireless pentagram is another one we like. When you're talking about, I think you're going to talk about what's on the note, aren't you?
Yeah,
that tower.
Pentagram? Is that the one?
Wireless pentagram. Okay. These are our official code words for that that technology you're talking about.
Yeah, that would do. Wireless pentagram and what was it? Pentojizzle.
Pentojizzle, yeah.
Pentojizzle. Okay, cool. I have got a £20 note with me, but I don't think we really need it.
If you want to show it up, let me know, and I'll put your camera up here if you want to take a closer look at the note together.
How do we go through the slides then?
Right. Okay. One sec. This one.
Mate, this is really comfy over the back. No wonder Magic's falls asleep over it.
Yeah, it's really comfy. Do you want the next slide, Jen?
Yeah, next slide.
Okay, all right, you tell me, I'll do it.
Yeah, okay, and you can go next anyway, because it's following. It's a saying, isn't it? It's on the money, and that means usually something's right. But anyway, we're going back to the origins of money. So the Temple of Juno, it is the etymology of the word.
It's a bit closer.
Oh,
there you go. That's better.
Yeah, the big. Yeah, the word money is believed to originate from a temple of Juno, one of Rome's 7 hills. So in the ancient world, Juno was often associated with money. But also comes from the goddess Uni, which means the one. And this is what Andy said earlier. So like money actually means one. A little bit of history.
One eye.
One eye.
One eye, yeah. Mono, which is one. And in green language, EY is as EYEI.
Yeah.
One eye.
But I like to see it as, if we go through the slides in a minute, there's another way I like to see it. But the term fiat derives from the Latin word fiat, meaning let it be done. We know this. But if you go to the next slide. So this £20 note, interestingly, was first issued, it's changed from paper to plastic, to polymer, which is symbolic in itself anyway, because it's coming from something that is natural to something that is not synthetic and not natural. So you've got to remember that symbology there of paper to plastic. But the interesting date of when they released this new synthetic version of this £20 note was that it was on the 20th of February 2020.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when you break down, obviously, the numerology with it, you've got all the 2s in there. So if you go to the next slide. Just interesting, just to drop this one in there with the... Everyone knows numerology, don't we? Like the master numbers and everything. But I just like to drop this one in that 1984 equals 22 as well. Just on a side note. Next slide.
Just coincidentally.
Yeah. But I like to look at currency as well, just to drop this in while we're talking about it, is like the currency. Because obviously everything with the maritime law, we're all lost at sea. And also, what is the biggest pollutant in the ocean?
Masks.
I guess before Mars it was plastic,
Plastic, yeah. So again, we've got this plastic polymer, coming in. Think of the symbology with it. Next slide.
It's a nice little bit of mockery in there, isn't it? Like the currency is now the major pollutant in the sea.
Yeah.
I like that. The major current pollutant in the sea. Quality.
Right, so this is when they announced it, this new note on the official news story. So as you can see, he's holding his hand up to the, doing the left eye thing or whatever. So this is when they announced it anyway. And it's JMW Turner that's on the actual note, which is an artist. If you go to the next slide. So also what I noticed with this note, when we're looking at it, you've got the 8 pillars around that symbol at the top.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. So you've got the 8 pillars. And most people notice anyway this tower, but we'll go into that in a minute. Guy on the back here is JMW Turner. There's not loads to be said about him. Not loads to be said about him. He's an artist. Light is therefore colour.
What have we got in the background there? Like a paddle steamer. Is that a paddle steamer in front of like an old wooden sailboat?
They kind of put boats and maritime stuff on it because this is actually a lighthouse. What the official thing is.
Do you think that's a paddle steamer? Do you think it's towing the wooden sailboat behind? So could that be maybe symbolising the Industrial Revolution? Because it looks like almost the boat behind it is derelict, but then the paddle steamer is towing it to me. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Okay. Another interesting one. But,
it's bound to be multi-layered, isn't it?
Oh, there's so much on it. Yeah, on this note. So when you go to the next slide, what this actually is on here. I mean, I know what it looks like to me, but the official story is of this lighthouse. That it is the lighthouse at Margate.
What's so special about that lighthouse that is on the note, though?
The lighthouse at Margate, what's special about it is it was destroyed in the Great Storm of 1953. But that's what they've put on there.
But the lighthouse at Margate doesn't have what are these blue things behind it?
Yeah.
They look like huge, big, microchip processors or something.
Well, to me, it's a pentadiddle tower.
Wireless pentagram tower, yeah.
Yeah. Because I also look at it as above, so below. And we drew out that 8 earlier, or I did on the slide. Because above it, you've got the crown and the virus symbol.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got as above, so below. The
crown virus.
Yeah. So I do think
the virus of your highness,
not the molecule inside your sinus. So it's quite interesting, right? Because if we just break this down, let's have a look at this really carefully. So we've potentially got this wireless pentagram tower here. We've got the Miley Cyrus above it, but then we've also got the person wearing the crown. To the right, looking at it,
and there's a crown on the other side as well.
Oh my!
On the front is a crown. Above it, it's a corona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This really is the crown virus, isn't it?
Yeah, but as above, so below, in plain sight, and then subversive is what I'd say. So the tower being subversive, and then above in plain sight. So what it appears as, but what is working.
It sort of reminds me of is it the Tower of Sauron in Harry Potter as well?
I first looked at that tower and thought it was the tower in London, this 1666 one, the Great Fire.
Right, okay.
Tower. That's what I immediately thought it was. But it's just a tower, isn't it? A symbol.
It does seem okay. So what this tower, this lighthouse was destroyed in I'd never personally heard of the Great Storm of 1953 before you just mentioned it. But
Great Storm. This is Margate Lighthouse. Yeah.
But it's that seems like a pretty lame cover story to me. It's why would that particular lighthouse in Margate be so important for it to go on the £20 note? Do you know what I mean, PG?
Well, same as the artist who's on the front. I mean, who the fuck is that anyway?
JMW Turner.
Yeah, I mean...
I've heard of Turner. Yeah. I've heard of Turner. He's pretty famous, but I don't know, what's so famous?
Is he worthy of going on the $20 bill?
£20 note.
Sorry, £20 note.
You Americanised bastard. No, but that's debatable. But for me, what what is the significance of a Margate lighthouse? It's just like that's a stretch.
Well, wait until we get to some of the other stuff in a minute because you'll find it funny.
All right.
Right, go to the next slide.
Okay, so here we are
This is what
at
it
the
is.
famous seaside resort of Margate. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what it is meant to be. Right, next slide.
Looks like a shithole, man.
Yeah, so this is such an important landmark. We just had to put this on the £20 note.
But I think the Great Storm thing is something. So anyway, lighthouses, they used to be built in the most dangerous waters. But they symbolise the perils of individuation, a constant danger of being swallowed by the unconscious forces beyond our control. I just like that little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you
Like
go to the next slide. Little history, yes, that is about Margate. This is the lighthouse they have chosen to put on the £20 note. But I just thought, yeah, because it is the Great Storm, I think that is the thing that they have picked it for.
So look, in 1955, the current octagonal concrete tower was built, topped by a copper lantern housing a single fixed red LED. Like all of the effort and like maintenance of that amazing lighthouse before, the huge lamp, the lighthouseman, his family, his lifelong like sort of like drive to like look after that lighthouse now is just replaced with a single fixed red LED. Wow. Some sort of poetic brilliance in that, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, anyway, the storm is coming. So that's what it goes down to. But what does a storm signify? Like, because spiritually it always means storm is coming, isn't it? You know, the apocalypse.
Donald Trump.
End of it.
Yeah, drain the swamp, there's a storm coming. Whoa.
Yeah. But and then the next slide, I have to do a little bit of Mark Devlin here. I always go into the music world.
That's right, we like a bit of Mark Devlin. You know, this is Rise Above.
So what musicians do you first think of when you think of the lighthouses?
Lighthouse Family.
Right, go on.
Okay, that was it.
So I thought that as well. So I thought, have a little look at the Lighthouse Family, see what they've been up to.
Right.
Right, so go next slide. So they've, interestingly, if you look at their record label, they're on Wildcard. Now suddenly they're on Polydor, right? So you've got to remember the notes changed to polymer. It's a bit out there, this one, but I thought, look at their latest album and look at some of the song titles.
We're going deep into the coded matrix here. Like.
Yeah, I know. But Blue Sky on Your Head, I was like, that's a bit of a weird album name, isn't it? You know, it's a bit weird. They're always happy clappy, weren't they, the Lighthouse Family?
Yeah.
Look at some of the
banging tunes.
Look at some of the song titles, names on the next slide of their latest album.
Blue Sky on Your Head, The Long Goodbye. That could be like saying goodbye to Cash.
Yeah.
Who's going to save me now? Who's going to save Cash? Super 8.
The Street Lights in the Rain. I think that's an interesting one anyway. But it's interesting with the Lighthouse Family just because they've always been so happy clappy and everything. And I was like, they've gone a little bit different. But if you go to the next slide, I just thought, what does blue mean? Blue sky in the head anyway. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But when you look what blue on blue means in the army, it's when basically, yeah, when they go in on themselves.
Oh, it's like friendly fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Blue on blue.
Yeah, blue on blue. But that was just a little divulge into like the music world. Anyway, nothing to do with the note really. That's just me going off on a tangent.
It's interesting to do that though. Sometimes it's nice because you can find some when you let yourself go a little bit and you think, okay, let's put the normal parameters down. You can find some interesting links that way.
I do always think stuff is in the music. Everything is put into the music world. Like I love Mark Devlin's research. It's something I looked at years ago, and I do. It's all related, military industrial complex, you know, everything is.
Yeah, when a few years ago, when I first saw people doing this kind of sort of very varied linking with all these different things and going into the entertainment like music and stuff, I was sort of like, what the hell are they doing? They're just pulling stuff out of nowhere. But then I realised, you know, if we are really in some sort of construct which lots of different people have got different ideas about, then, you know.
Do you know the power of spellcasting in the music as well? I mean, it's a massive thing, mind control.
Yeah, of course. You know, we've been following Mark Devlin's work for a while. What he's been talking about. You know, we've had other people come on to talk about this as well. How, you know, me being a musician myself and a writer, I know how powerful it is to write lyrics and have them influence people. So,
but I just thought the blue sky in the head a bit weird, isn't it? And then when you look at what blue on blue means in the army and the blue sky thing, it's when they're accidentally killed by their own army. You're just like, a little bit weird. Hopefully that doesn't happen, and hopefully Lighthouse Family release a new album and it's all good. But yeah.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah, look forward to that. But back to the note stuff.
Okay.
On the slide.
Am I allowed to show the next slide yet?
Yeah.
Or do you want to have a look at the note? I see you holding a £20 note.
Oh, I'm holding it, yeah. But the next slide. But so Street Lights in the Rain is just a bit of a weird song title anyway. But back to the note and what we think this is on the note. What the symbol is. I think the next slide's got the note again. Oh, no. We'll go into the astrology of the date because that's another interesting one.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think we've all agreed what that might be on the note.
I would say it's pretty conclusive that, let me just get it back, the picture, the close-up of what we're looking at there. And I must say, this little screenshot you got here, that's been illuminated perfectly. So I've like the gold base, because also that's an obelisk. And I hate to say it, this purple thing here, this is a vulva.
Yeah, phallic. Yeah, phallic.
Yeah, we have a phallus going into a vulva here.
Yeah.
But there's also all this matrix coding, and there's clearly some EMF technology radiating from this phallic symbol. This is like Lord Schwab's like butt plug or something. I don't know. But yeah, hey, it looks like some sort of digital synergy. You know, like those old church. Like the stained glass windows where there's like a phallic symbol going into like, what's it called, the vase of Pisces, and you have it, it looks like a vagina.
Yeah.
To me, this looks very much like that, but you've sort of got like the digital element as well.
Well, if you look in the United States, they've got anywhere where there's the states, so it's like Maryland and Virginia, they've just put obelisks fucking all over them.
Love it. Just put penis all over the place.
Yeah.
It's Osiris's penis, isn't it? I love that shit. Okay, let's get back to where we were. So you were going to start.
I did go into that in the original presentation.
Listen, if you want, if we get to the end too quickly, we can jump back and go back to anything.
I did bring up a load of phallic stuff in the original stuff, but I scaled this down for tonight. But a quick look at the astrology.
You scaled down your phallic talk for tonight. I'm glad. Okay.
Scaled it down. Yeah, quick look at the astrology. So the date that the note was released, okay, this was the astrology of it. And interestingly, and what we notice is there's a Saturn-Pluto conjunction. And this was for the 20th of February 2020 when the note was released. This is the snapshot of the astrology at the time. Interesting with that is, if you go to the next slide, in history, when we've had a Saturn-Pluto conjunction before, in 1982, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction saw a reset in the financial markets. Also, this conjunction also saw the beginning of the AIDS epidemic.
Oh, wow.
And fears for its impact on humanity.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. So the Saturn-Pluto conjunction's been quite a thing when these type of things happen.
This reminds me of what Ola Wolney was saying when we had her on a few weeks back. Do you remember, Andy?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. She's great.
And she was saying that from her study of Babylonian astrology, that what was happening now was all to do with conjunctions and to do with, her interpretation of the stars anyway. But it was, there was going to be a health incident, like there was a financial incident followed by a health incident. Yeah, they say history doesn't rhyme, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes.
Powers that be, I think, use astrology to their advantage, or their version of astrology they use to their advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was just interesting that date had the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Because when I went into the note thing, I was just like, right, okay. I sent it out to my astrologer friend. I was like, can you just do a little one on that? So shout out to Rose Gold because she gave me the chart for that. And yeah, if we go to the next slide. Oh, here we go, an interesting one. Yeah, so in 1947, the conjunction saw the reshaping of many parts of the world, a new world order with the formation of Israel and the breaking of India and Pakistan. So again, just some more Saturn-Pluto conjunctions throughout time and when things have happened.
Oh, so this is when there was another one in 1947.
Yeah. Yeah. So I then went back and looked at all the Saturn-Pluto conjunctions.
Well, they say millionaires don't care about astrology, but billionaires do.
Yeah.
And trillionaires.
Yeah.
Trillionaires really care about it 1 million times more than the billionaires.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about money as energy and consent. So when we use money, and in typical basic kind of black magic, you know, you have symbols and you consent to things. So when you're using money, I think on a subconscious level, or if we're not aware of it, we are consenting to perhaps what is on this. And it's money is seen as energy. It is a form of transaction and a way that we pay for things or services or exchange. So we've got to be more aware of when we use money. Traditionally, people would bless things to raise the vibration of something that wasn't pure. You know, people bless their food. But then my homeopath reminded me that you can only bless, you know, when you go to Asia, people bless their money when you buy something on the market. They go, oh, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a thing about blessing everything. My homeopath reminded me you can only bless natural things. So now you can't really bless money now. It's plastic because it's.
So what you're saying is before, because money was actually made of paper, so at some stage it was organic.
Yeah.
Not like thousands of years ago when it was plankton before it became oil or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that paper was a tree.
Or it was metal, like coins. You know. So
yeah.
it's still a natural substance. But now this is, you know, plastic.
It's synthesized basically.
Synthesized. So it's,
Yeah. Well, I know firsthand how much that goes on in Southeast Asia. They have they put money out. They leave money that's been blessed for Buddha. Apparently, Buddha likes money, and they literally leave it out. I don't know who eventually takes the money. It's like the last person or whatever. But I guess the monks take it eventually. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to talk about this as well because I remember when I went on a podcast early. Actually, probably the first podcast I ever went on a long time ago. And they were trying to say how all of this that was going on was down to money. And I just laughed at them. I was like, guys, you do realise that money is actually only a representation of our human energy. They're like, what? And I was like, well, these people who own banking dynasties, money's meaningless to them because they can print infinite money. Yeah. In fact, they're the only people that probably know how infinitely worthless money and the fiat monetary whole system is. So what actually is it? Why is it happening? If you can print an infinite amount of money, and that's the bottom line, why would you have everyone doing this? Well, it's about harvesting energy. It always comes back to that. That plastic note that at once upon a time was supposed to be a promise that some gold somewhere existed, but now they say that even that doesn't the case. Well, that's magic. That's literally that's black magic. That's Kabbalistic black magic.
Yeah, it's symbols and exchanges of energy. Yeah, and it's a game, isn't it? Really, it's a monopoly.
Well, you think how much energy is harvested from people running around trying to accumulate these meaningless, worthless notes.
I remember the first time I saw plastic notes was in Thailand in 2010, and it was Australian people that had them. The Australians were the first people to have plastic notes, I believe, or the first ones I ever saw. And I said, guys, what the fuck is this? They said, oh, it's our new money, mate. And it's like, if we go surfing, it doesn't get wet, it doesn't get soggy. And I was like, okay, is that the reason they've done it? Because you guys are constantly going surfing with money in your pocket. Anyone from down under, I know we've got some Aussies tuned in. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys have had this plastic money for a long time. Did they tell you? Did they sell this money to you on the fact that you can leave it in your pocket when you go surfing and it doesn't go soggy? Or was this guy totally mugging me off? Someone in the comment section, let me know. For you guys, it's now like Saturday morning, so yeah, wakey, get your rabbit flavoured Weetabix out, and please tell me. Big shout out to Auntie Kobe. Hello, Sheep Farm Studios. I can see you there. Okay, I've seen your next slide here. Sorry, I'm rabbit holing.
That's all right.
That's
We're
right.
near
That's what we
the
do
end
around
of
here.
it. It's all right.
The degradation of money.
Yeah, we're basically talking about that then. So going from gold to paper to plastic to nothing. You know, that's the way it's going. And then when I was doing this research on the £20 note, I always said it would be really... When the £50 note turns to plastic, then we haven't really got long left before it's gone completely.
We haven't got long left when you got a picture of Lord Sausage Fingers the 33rd on there. Because can we talk about that, Jen? Do you know anything about that? Like when the Lord King Sausage Fingers money is coming? When we're going to see Charles on the money?
I don't know. I haven't looked into that
because it's got to be coming, hasn't it? When are we going to see this sausage note?
I have a feeling it's going to go digital.
Wow, I would have thought that. I would have assumed we would have jumped the lexicon straight to digital, but I have heard in the mainstream media that it's going to be printed. Maybe it will be backed by CBDC or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just jump in here. They say where it's gone from gold to paper to plastic.
Yeah.
The original sort of bullshit about that was obviously it's to carry around a load of gold coins or silver coins is heavy. So then they moved it to notes. So it's easier to transport and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It must have been better when you had that like pouch of money on your belt though. It's like, look at my coins, peasant. Like you got a jingle. Oh, are those silver? No, these are gold coins. Look at that.
It was done for a reason and a practical reason.
Well, do you know why it was done? Also, there was a certain group of people, I hate to say it, who over time were consistently caught to be cheating the system, because when you have a coin that's actually worth its own weight in gold, so your coin, but back in the day the coins were big, so if you wanted a big gold coin, your coin would be a big bastard coin like that. Well, there's a certain group of people that thought, oh, I have this idea, if we chip a tiny piece of each coin and we like a little sliver, just so they won't notice.
Yeah.
And because if you have loads of coin passing through your hand, you can do that, just a little piece, and then we'll build our own coins. Coin chipping. It was the CERN technicians that were doing that. They got kicked out of a lot of countries for doing that over the years, and I think that was part of the reason why they had to go away from commodity-based currency to fiat, or at least, lo and behold, it was also LHC, the coalition that was bringing in fiat currency. So maybe it was a little bit of problem reaction solution. I see we have Tom from 528 Create in the green room. Hello, Tom. We'll be getting you on in just a minute. Make yourself comfortable, mate. Yeah, so...
And then it went to fractional reserve lending, and then, it's not even anything anyway. You're signing credit agreements as contracts, and the banks are making 8 times the money in your signature.
I've heard as well, I don't know how much truth, I haven't looked into this. I've heard that in China, I'm not sure if they've introduced it already or it's going to be introduced, that you're only allowed to hold a certain amount of wealth, whether it's digitally or whatever, like in your bank, for a certain amount of time. Basically they're going to make it impossible for you to actually save.
No, what I heard was that was actually built into CBDC, especially in China, that basically it's timed. So it means that you're given a certain amount of peasant credits, whether it's for food, amenities, energy, whatever, and they're timed, so they only last for a year and they don't roll over. So yes, what you're saying is right. It means it's impossible for you to save or to accumulate or to be resourceful, because your credits are all timed and they actually expire. They're like minutes on a monthly mobile phone contract. Whoa.
Just keeps you at the lower grade peasant level.
Yeah. That is crazy. China's got it figured out.
I'll tell you what, let's just welcome Tom in and say hi, because you're just finishing off. We're going to have a multi-chat tonight. Let's say hello to Tom for 528 Create. Tom, welcome to Rise Above, mate.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you great. You're a professional streamer, mate. Come on.
I'm not. This is the first time I'm doing it.
You use Zoom and all that kind of stuff. For anyone that doesn't know, Tom looks after all of our merchandise and our website. So big shout out to Tom at 528 Create and 528 Crypto. In a moment, we're going to be handing over to him and he's going to be talking all about crypto and blockchain. So Jen, you've been talking about the occult side of cash and how cash has got certain elements laced into it. What are these solutions?
In general, shielding, grounding, shungite. I did try this pentagizzle bioshield. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of these. They're the USB sticks that the BBC done this slander campaign about, and said they're just USB. They're just normal USB sticks. But I actually tested it at my homeopath. The videos on my YouTube channel, and they do block out radiation.
Oh, right.
So it
Okay.
is-
What? So when you plug the USB into your PC or something, it actually emits something that
It's-
blocks radiation?
Yeah, it's got like a nanotechnology layer on it.
Does it affect the performance of your computer?
No, it makes plants grow better around it and stuff. And it's a really interesting thing. So obviously you look at it and it looks just like a normal USB, and then the BBC come out about it and people were writing on my YouTube video, has Sasha Stone paid you in drugs to promote his shit technology or something? But and it got trolled loads and everything. But I actually tested
As everything
it.
does.
Yeah, I actually tested it at my homeopath. We put it on the plate on top of the mobile phone, and then we put a normal USB on, and it doesn't cancel out the radiation. It's still a really high reading. And then we put the BioShield on, and it cancels it out completely. But also, a copper penny does the same.
Okay, so we're
Cancels out
actually
radiation.
talking about pentojizzle.
Does it really?
Pentajizzle,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so solutions to that.
Those are pentojizzle solutions. Now, you're talking about these plastic notes and the switch over from paper to plastic, from the organic to the synthetic for our physical cash.
Yeah.
Now, the latest transition that's happened has been the £50 note.
Yeah, this is the latest one that's gone to plastic. And this one's really interesting when you look at it, where it's got the tower on the other one, the lighthouse. It's actually now, this is a computer chip. So this one, and it's also got Alan Turing on it, the guy that first created Turing, yeah, he
this
first created computers. Yeah, code breaker. And he was actually the guy who, they're saying, first proposed that computers could think. So the basis of artificial intelligence.
Wow. So he's like the daddy of AI.
Yeah, basically the daddy of AI.
Daddy of AI.
Yeah, the big daddy.
Yeah.
Mr. T of AI.
He's also the LGBT kind of guy as
Oh,
well.
what a coincidence. So he's got the rainbow as well. What a great all-rounder.
Yeah. So, and he was part of that movement as well. So it's kind of showing that. I won't go into that too much. But also what's interesting on this note, well, on the other side of it, if you hold it up to the light, there's a line through the Queen's head. It doesn't. I put a link underneath to the video that I did that shows it holding up to the light.
Okay,
But I haven't got a £50 note with me.
We'll put that in the Telegram for anyone that's interested.
Yeah. So if you get hold of a £50 note, just hold it up to a white screen on the computer on the front side of it, and you'll just see there's never been that on any other notes. Like this note, when you hold it up, it doesn't have a line through the Queen's
Can I just say something? Earlier on, we were looking at the £20 note, and I was saying that it looks like this is a vulva, and there was a phallus going in there, and there were radio or EMF rays coming out of the phallus in the vulva, i.e. it was like penetrating it and impregnating it with some sort of technology. Well, look what's in there now. You're seeing a vulva with some sort of like microchip grid inside it, like it's basically germinating some sort of techno-schwabery, and the Queen wearing the crown is still sat there looking at it. That's what it says to me, but I'm a professional weirdo. What do I know?
Yeah. And then on the front, it's got basically that the Queen's dead, and that this is the way it's going into kind of AI and computers.
When did this note come out? Do you know?
23rd of June. There's nothing really in the date with it.
2-2.
Yeah.
236.
Yeah, there's not too much with it.
23 is 33.
Yeah, you could say 33666 if it was me. That's me.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's quite interesting.
It's always on the money. It's on the money.
It's on the money. Well, look, at the end of the day, we pass these notes across our hands every day. That in itself is a ritual. That in itself is an energy exchange, right? So, yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
So, cash.
There you go.
It's on the money. Jen, thank you very much for being our first physical female guest in the Rise Above studio.
Hi.
Yes, we've had Ola Woley and we have Human Vibration on all the time. Everyone's always saying we've got to give the ladies a bit more of a shout. Guys, we're always up for new guests. You know where we are.
Has it been a sausage fest up until now?
Well, some people have made comments that it is a bit of a metaphysical sausage fest, yeah. So thank you very much for coming on.
Wow. Well, I wanted to ring and talk about fear. But while you're on the smart meter talk as well, I basically live in it was a council house. It's not a council house anymore. It's now a housing association.
Right.
And when I first moved in, obviously it already had meters in. They were the rules. The meters had to be there. You're not allowed to take the meters out. We're not allowed to have a gas cooker. Like those rules. Like basically, if we take these meters out, they can actually get you to move out of the house, like take the house off you, which was pretty extreme. Well, basically what I did is I got an engineer to fiddle with mine, and it's not worked properly for about 3 years now. Basically, you see how people are getting these free energy discounts, and basically they're getting automatically topped up on these smart meters. So some people are like getting like a £60 here, a £60 there, Joe, rather than them getting sent checks and things like that.
So they they can't spend their money on what they're not deemed allowed to spend it on.
So what? That's already happening.
Yeah.
You're basically getting your energy credits.
No, not me.
But that's happening to other people. They're getting
can't
energy
top
credits
me up.
rationed to the smart meter.
Yeah, that's exactly. Everyone on my street, basically, I can remember I'm all out in the morning. Oh, I've had my meters topped up £70. I've jumped over the fence like, I ain't. Do you know what I mean? I ain't had £70 put on mine. And then I realised, obviously, what had happened. Basically, mine don't work like a smart meter anymore. So, Joe, you're supposed to be able to top up on your phone from anywhere and it goes straight onto your meter. Mine don't do that. You see that special little thing you've just been shown where it shows you what you're using and all of that? Mine don't connect up to that or do that. So they can't even get a meter reading from mine. So mine doesn't actually perform like a smart meter. It actually performs like, remember the old-fashioned ones you used to get and you used to plug a little key in?
Yeah, yeah.
I basically have to go and type everything in, like number for number and manually top it up. So they have to basically, they keep trying to send me these checks, but I was like, you don't get nothing for free. And then because I've not been accepting the checks, I think they've been going on to like my council tax. There's like quite a lot of money sat there and I'm like, I ain't even taking it. Don't want it. You never get nothing for free. There's always...
if it's for free, then you're the product.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think about it. So I'm grateful because mine's not working the way it should. So mine's not being monitored. They can't even check in to see where it's at. Because like they can do automatic meter readings and stuff now. Like remember how back in the day someone would knock on your door?
Yeah. Come and take your meter reading.
Yeah, so there are ways for anyone who's in a situation where you could pop, because obviously we get our house serviced every year as well, so someone will come out and do work on your boilers and stuff like that, and sometimes your meters as well, which I find really weird. But fortunately for me, one of these guys that was actually the one who sorted mine out for me and did that, so they don't really know that mine's working like that. So if anyone's having issues, they're in a situation where they can't actually remove them, it is possible to have them fucked up a little bit where they don't work properly. So you can't sort of be monitored. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, guys, get in touch with Clara if you need some services there. She can point you in the right direction.
Going back to the lady who called up today, and I sounded absolutely traumatizing for what she'd been through. Fear, the word fear. Like I went to Ashley Tyson's farm a couple of weeks ago with the Primal Tribe and did like a family meetup. And we basically did a ceremony. Before we did this fire ceremony, we basically we all picked, everyone come up with the same thing and fear come up. So we had this coach sort of like asking us questions. I'm going to ask you all, like, what does fear mean to you? What do you feel when you feel fear?
Anxiety.
Yeah. Anything else? Anyone else in the comments as well? Like, get involved. Like, there's so many, like, are there things you fear?
Everyone fears something. When people say they don't, I'm not afraid of anything, that's bullshit, man. Everyone's afraid of something.
When you start breaking it down of, what fear actually feels like, it actually puts you in a mindset of, wait a minute, let me think about that. Like, all the different thoughts.
It's a state of shock. It's a form of shock.
yeah, like anxiety. What does anxiety feel like? It feels different for everyone. Like, but what does excitement feel like?
It actually feels very similar to anxiety.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we choose, like how people say fear mongering and things like this and pushing fear. Like, it's only us solely on ourselves. We actually choose to put them fears upon ourselves. No one else does. No one else actually puts them upon us. We choose those fears ourselves. And it's like when you think about the actual feeling of fear, anxiety, happiness, they're all pretty similar. So like a way of turning things like fear around when you actually think about things like that. Like there's so many things people can come up to when you say, what is fear? What does it mean to you? And when you really beat it down and put it down like that, you do it as you sat there thinking, well, yeah, well, what the fuck? That is true. Only we choose those feelings to feel that fear. We put those fears there in our mind ourselves and choose them to be a fear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
And when you look at all the other emotions, yeah, stress, shock, terror, all of that, all those. And then when you break them all down, even with excitement, like I know what I'm like when I get excited. I'm like a big overexcited kid, you know what I mean? But the feelings I get with inside are almost like the exact same adrenalines as what comes with fear. It is completely the same.
Yeah.
Like loss of control. Like I've just seen another comment there. Like, you know, no one can force fear upon us. Only we choose to take on that fear. So when you can learn to train your mind to understand it properly like that, you can literally eradicate the fear.
You can master it.
These are wise words, Clara, from you.
Yeah,
well done.
I know this to be true, and this echoes some of the conversations I've had with Master Lee about the zone of optimal performance that we've talked about before. That any sort of sportsman or musicians might know that what we talk about when, you know, that when you go into that matrix time and you're doing the best you can. And you're almost stepping out of yourself, and then you can sort of come back into it, because then you can be aware that, oh, I'm right on the edge of my capabilities here. And that kind of nervous excitement / fear can actually be harnessed, because it's an energy that's being produced.
And it's all about the frequency of which you let that energy go to.
Yeah.
And it can sometimes, you can feel like, or for me, it can feel very much on like a knife edge. And this energy is dancing on the knife edge. And it can fall one way, and that means it could be pumped into creative passion, or it could be the other way, and it could be pumped into anxiety and discomfort and unease. Maybe is one way to put it. And this is always on a knife edge. And I think what you've said there is a brilliant point, and it's a really good way to finish off the show tonight, because this is what comes down to the fight or flight moment. And things like
233 people tuned in.
That is exactly it. Yeah.
I think though you have to be able to do that, to be able to convert the fear into a positive frequency. I think you have to be very self-aware, very comfortable in yourself, very knowledgeable about who you are to do that. Because, like,
of course, it takes the inside work. It's the inside work. It's the working on yourself. Like, a lot of us are so focused on the greatest fucking apocalypse ever, you know, and the fears that come with it. So every time I've rang this show, it's been pretty traumatic, you know. Everything in my life was pretty traumatic. Now, after doing this therapy session, I was around all these wives and women, mothers. They were all mothers. But the hardest part was when we all started, because then we started speaking about affairs. And everyone spoke, and it boiled down to passion. I was bawling my eyes out. Every time someone else had something tragic to say, I was just crying like, oh, fucking hell, you know, like, this is so fucking deep. But it's like, since I did this, and then I actually wrote a list of things down that are with intent. When Master Lee always speaks about things, we're doing things with intent. Like, and I did a fire ceremony after, and there was so much I needed to let go. I had so many fears. Like, every time I've rang up, it's always been about fears. I'm scared of what they will do to me. I'm scared of what they will do to my son. Like, look what happened to me at the start of this year with the hospital situation and finally getting Leo fully out the system. Obviously, Angel sort of is. Since doing this, it has completely transformed my life. Like, I haven't really got any fears anymore. This whole apocalypse thing, I don't fear any of it anymore. I'm so confident with the future. And I know things look dark and gloomy, but I literally do not fear any of that anymore. Like, things are so positive. I had a lot of negativity with the decisions and stuff I've made throughout this whole movement. Like, you know, people are always going to make judgments and assume things or assume you're doing something wrong because you're not doing things the same way others sort of are. And, you know, ever since doing this as well, every time something negative comes at me, boom, straight away within seconds, something positive straight away. It's perfectly balanced.
That's awesome to hear, honestly.
Sounds great.
I wish my life was that balanced.
Like, you know, to get myself of that place, like, I've never felt more confident. Like, I've never actually felt this powerful. And like we say, you know, things are really heating up, but the only thing we can all do is the work on ourselves. It's not just about having a cupboard full of food and having this and having that. It's preparing yourself and having a plan and, like, you know, finding the right people around you, like a connection, a tribe. Like how we are one big family at Rise Above. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone needs some sort of plan to be able to give them that stability. That feeling of, yeah, shit's going to be okay because me, you, and you, we're going to be fine because we're doing this together and we're working on it now. Like, there's still so many people trying to wake people up and trying to save everyone else, but they're forgetting about saving themselves.
Absolutely. And this is what we need to remember is that there's no point in going around and waking everybody else up. And I'm a big what's the word? I'm a big victim of this myself. You know, I spend a lot of time doing this when I should probably be spending more time getting prepared myself. And you know, doing all the things that I'm telling everybody else to do. You know, and we all need to do that because when the shit hits the fan, the first person you need to look after is yourself before you can look after anybody else. You can't look after anyone else if you haven't looked after yourself properly.
And that doesn't just mean being, like you said, stored up and have a cupboard full of food. That's mentally prepared, physically prepared. If people, you know, if shit does really go bad, I mean,
in these pantries, most of the stuff people are packing in these pantries are toxic. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need to go back to our roots. We need to unlearn everything we've learned. Like, now when I go, I'm on a strictly carnivore diet now.
I've seen your posts.
You've probably seen all my photos of meat on social media. I'm on a carnivore diet at the minute and it's going absolutely great, but I'm very particular and I know it's hard times, and this is why we need to build our connections. You know, when shit hits the fan, where are you going to get your meat from? Where are you going to get your milk from? Where are you going to get your eggs from? Like, these are the kind of communities that need building. Like, I've actually just chose a role today and I had to do a video. I felt like I was applying for a Big Brother show. It was a bit daunting, I'm not going to lie. But I'm basically chose a couple of options. But what I've chose to do is I actually want to go and learn about farming properly, the whole meat process down to everything. And I know it's going to take a lot, but the opportunity is there for me to take it. So, yeah, I'm going to be
If it's presented itself, that means it's presenting itself for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
there are no coincidences in the realm.
I want to marry a farmer. That was my, I used to always say to Angel, I want to marry a farmer. I need a farmer husband. I need a farmer with a big farm and I need to live this lifestyle. And I'm like, if that's what you want, then go and do it for yourself.
Everyone will wish they've married a farmer soon.
Yeah. And like the difference, like what we're working on as well, and myself, like, because, you know, I am a single mother, I suppose. I did become pretty masculine through the experiences and stuff that I had through life and how tough I had to be. and learning about true femininity and understanding myself. And this is one of the biggest issues we've got in the populations today. That is being tarnished. It is so difficult for men in this day and age, and we really need to start working on these issues. We really do need to start working on them, because it's getting worse and worse. And this is a huge problem. And this is how people are not fully understanding their self and their potential and their true purpose, because society's made us believe we're supposed to be a different kind of way, you know. And this is a big issue as well with what a lot of people are struggling with, but they don't realise that.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's just absolutely bonkers.
Time
but
to
it
take
is
it
all
back to
just
basics,
so
like you
interesting.
said.
That's it. Back to basics. Going back to our roots. We need to re-educate ourselves on everything. You know, even food and stuff. It's all right packing a pantry and stuff like that. But what if you do need to pack your shit and leave? The whole pantry's not coming with you, is it?
No.
You know, like, and these are the kind of connections, like Andy said, with a log stove, and I know a tree surgeon and I can get logs whenever I want. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was such great advice. Things like that are such great advice. And these are the connections we need to be building. Like the connections you built with Chloe, I can't wait to go and see her again. Angel will not stop asking about her and wanting to go down. Like, you know, how these connections have come together since the raw treat experience, and these need to continue. Just because we're not all still down there now, like, these connections need to carry on building, and people coming together, like any skills anyone have got, like, this is where people really need to start building those, so we can eradicate those fears that are stopping us from achieving these things.
No, absolutely. I think this is a really powerful thing that everyone needs to hear right now.
It's a great finish to the show.
It is a great finish to the show, and you know, and I hope, I think since Raw Treat, a lot of people have been energized. I've certainly seen that you haven't stopped. So Clara, thank you very much for calling in. We're going to wrap it up there.
You're welcome.
We've gone a little bit over the midnight, but that was a great way to finish it off.
Everyone look into the fear thing and work on that yourselves as well, because all of us, you know, we all do have certain fears and things, and when you take it right back down and strip it all to the bare minimum, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
That's it.
It's not worth
Extinguish fear when we generate love. Rise above.
That's the one. Rise above.
All right, Clara, take care. Speak to you soon.
Care.
Reports of a plane crash in the World Trade Center in New York.
Outside Liverpool Street Station.
11 people have been confirmed dead in an attack on the controversial French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo. 5 people are in critical condition.
Have been killed in Paris and more than 200 are injured in a series of attacks across the city.
There have been 2 explosions at Brussels Airport and the blast at a city centre metro station.
It's double L, you've heard of me, the flow's poison, liquid mercury. Hear my voice when I curse this beat, I let it moisten before surgery. Guilty in charge, repeat offender, for revealing elitist agenda. Still at large, delete the data, success or defeat or retreat or surrender. And I can't let go, killer artist Charlie Hebdo. That's a false flag, actors in tow, and the blame is slow for the media show. 2 weeks later, Copenhagen, could it be baited these global pagans? These traitors feed off people hating, so nothing's changing. Guilty in charge, repeat offence. My arse is back on the bench. The prosecution speaks my offensive views on my former defence. So hence, saw the week from the chat. The covert conflicts, rearranged maps. Government funded, hidden bloodbath, is misinformation, way off the graph. So seek out multiple sources. Be beware of malevolent forces. They steer clear minds off courses. Hold your aura strong like a fortress. On operating a lawless state. The internet's like an open gateway. I gain knowledge at raucous rates that I disseminate with flawless pace. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction, step 1 in a chain reaction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. That's a direct action, breaking down our human attraction.
Not really free your mind, it's free yourself from mind. That's why society is structured to completely engross us in things to occupy our mind. Open your mind.
There's a war going on through our minds, for our attention, for our lives, and it keeps going on because we remain blind. The system is shoveling shit in our eyes. Consume this, watch that, or anything on a big screen that's flat. Distractions come in many formats. Time is one thing you never claw back. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain factions. That's the direct action, breaking down on human attraction. There's no need for a power up. I discharge my aura, climb a mountain, cross a border, attack a new inner mind explorer. I wanna be a seat, a teleporter to a land with no structural order. No distractions from warring factions, leading people like lambs to the slaughter. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction, step one in a chain reaction. See me, I write about issues. You wipe joy pads with tissues. Unconsciously moving along while your awareness is stuck in situ. For your mind is a major misuse. You're online, settling disputes. In a deathmatch, throwing a smoke grenade. I'm in a sound clash, smoking big suits. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction, step one in a chain reaction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. That's the direct action, breaking down on human attraction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. Fearful thoughts gain traction, step one in a chain reaction. Weapons of mass distraction, fired by warring factions. That's the direct action, breaking down on human attraction.